Howdy. Back when I started making presentations, oh, very funny, Rose. I started making presentations back in the 80s, the 1980s. Better. All right. When I first started doing presentations, we used actual slides for our presentations. People would gather in the dark to watch and read as we droned on. It was a boon when we had the ability to create overhead transparencies with a laser printer, comparatively cheap and quick to produce. We tended to load lots of information onto one slide because it could be pricey and time-consuming to create the plastic pages. When we made the switch to PowerPoint, most of us stuck to the style we knew, which led to the phenomenon we now know as death by PowerPoint. Sitting and watching someone read from a list of bullets is the seventh circle of hell. Our company presentation template has a smart, elegant, modern look. It's intended to serve multiple functions. This is why you'll find templates like this one laid out in brochure format. Great for pamphlets and leave-behind handouts. And what you've just experienced here is that death by PowerPoint. This layout is intended not for presentations, but for leave-behinds, brochures, things along that line. If people are reading, they're not listening. This is what Nancy Duarte, the author of Slideology, calls sliduments. First rule, no font in your presentation should be smaller than 18 point, and you want the fewest words possible. You might think that putting words on screen and reading them aloud would enhance learning, but the opposite is true. When you read words from the screen, they enter the visual channel and your brain converts the pictures of the letters to words, which are then redirected to the verbal channel. You end up with two verbal inputs competing for your attention. The same information comes in at different rates, causing cognitive overload. When you combine a visual image with a verbal information, both flow into the brain through their independent channels. That's why you should share just one idea per slide. The title is a complete sentence with a subject and a verb above an image that's easy to grok in about 2 to 3 seconds. Your audience gets the gist of what you're about to say, and then they'll listen to you instead of reading the slide. Try this and you'll get that lean-in effect you want from your audience. Now, even Microsoft is aware of this problem. They produced a book called Beyond Bullet Points. Cliff Atkinson's method of assembling a slide deck is useful for new presenters, has a lot to offer even old-timers like me. And this is his approach. You start with a spreadsheet and you start the grabber section at the top, a hook, an interesting quote or startling statistic, explain the relevance of your topic, talk about the challenge that the audience is facing and what they would desire in a perfect world. Then you give them a map for how to get there. And at the bottom, you list your takeaway. Now add your 3 main points on the left. The rule of 3 holds true in presentations, not 4, not 2, unless you then proceed to a third point. 5 is right out. These slides would work for a 5-minute presentation. If you have more time, you can expand to another column where you give 3 supporting justifications for each of your 3 main points. That would give you a 15-minute presentation. And if they give you even more time, you can go out and have 3 supporting points for each of your subpoints to flesh out a 45-minute presentation. Now, I'm using my company's color scheme, so I can map the slides from that spreadsheet immediately to the main points, the subpoints, and the final supporting points. This helps the audience to follow the structure, and it also has a nifty advantage for you. If they told you you had 45 minutes, but they said, oh no, you only have 15, it's easy to go through and hide the slides with the white backgrounds and only use the dark and light blue slides. You can hide the light blue slides and go down to a 5-minute presentation. That flexibility can really help you out in a pinch. Now, if you'd like help with any presentation, you can contact me, ddawson@ripple.com, or @Dennis Dawson on Slack. And everybody sign up to do a lightning talk. They're a lot of fun. Back to you, Rose.